Yo, what it is, guys? Leon Mooky here, and I'm back with a new What If series. This is something I've been thinking about for quite a bit of time now, and honestly, I just want to see what if it could get quite a bit of views, and see if it could be a great series to rival my others. This is What If Izuku Could Summon Eidolons from Final Fantasy 13. And if I'm going to be 100% completely honest, I just want to see if this video can get some traction. Mostly because I believe that even though I hate Final Fantasy 13 with a passion, like I seriously fucking hate it, with half of the characters being either, well, lackluster, boring, and our main cast of characters being that of one note or literally barely go through any character development, or not even likable at that. Well, I mean, I like 3 characters of the main group, but the other 3 can suck it. And I'm already aware of the jokes of it being called a hallway simulator game, because there's not really any freedom within the game or true exploration like any other Final Fantasy game before it. But I digress. I don't want to go on a rant video. Well, I could probably do that in the next couple of weeks or so, or possibly in a month, but whatever. What I really liked about Final Fantasy 13 was the summons. That being the Eidolons and their mechanical / living kind of forms. And also their transformation forms were pretty cool. Well, actually, I think that was one of the best things about 13, to be honest. So yeah. Also, I'm going to put that of expectations on this video. If this video can get up to at least 1,000 views and also 100 likes in the next week or so, I'll create part 2, and I'll also start part 3 as well. But again, if this video doesn't reach that like goal or that viewership goal, then I'm not gonna bother. So yeah. Any rate, enough said. Let's get into this, shall we, guys? Not everybody is created equal. That's what a young 5-year-old Izuku Midoriya has learned in his life. Something that normal children shouldn't have to learn at such a young age. But it can't be helped, given that in his world, he is quirkless. In his world, where the 80% of the human population have a superhuman ability called quirks. With this, humans began to develop these new quirks, their abilities to expand. With that, many other technological advancements such as space travel, expansion of higher technology, and many, many more would have been put on hold to understand quirks for the past 200 years. But little do they know that the world that they're in, the world that Izuku Midoriya is in, was not the original world. Instead, it's a new world created by old gods, with the death of a god that wanted to control all of humanity to make it its personal puppets. It was stopped by a group of heroes not willing to give up their free will and the will of their fellow man, and were able to defeat him. With that, they create a new world, but the fragments of their past world still remain in some way. And in the way that they remain, and that's of fragment crystallized souls. These souls being the Eidolons of Claire, aka Lightning, Vamil, Fang, Hope, Snow, and Saz. These pieces of their souls being their Eidolons. And soon after, their pieces of them would end up in one boy. One quirkless boy who only dreamt of being a hero, who dreamt of saving people with a smile on his face, willing to do whatever it needs to, even self-sacrificing himself to protect innocent lives. That is the true meaning of being a hero. Because of this determination, this will, this heart of this young boy, the 6 fragments were drawn to him, becoming one. And because of this, the god of their world, being the goddess Yule, the goddess of life and death, decided to give the boy a small gift to guide him how to use his new powers. Years go by, with Izuku now being 13 years old, after getting bullied once again by Katsuki Bakugo and his lackeys, and even by his fellow classmates and his teachers neglecting him, with his entire school doing nothing but abusing the quirkless kid. He couldn't help but wonder, should he continue his dream? Should he continue moving forward? Until he continued hearing voices in his head telling him to never give up on that dream, to keep pushing forward, to don't let anyone else tell you what cannot be possible. With Izuku saying, there it goes again, those voices. Why do I keep hearing them? Am I seriously going crazy from all of the abuse and bullying that I'm basically creating figments? People basically saying words in my head? What the hell? I don't even know these voices. With Izuku holding his head, ever since he was 10 years old, the voices, the fragments of the Eidolons have been speaking to him, trying to tell him to not give up on his dream, no matter what. Soon, Izuku saying, even if I am crazy, even if I am basically losing my mind, I can't. If I do, did everything that I try to work for be for nothing? Soon, Izuku basically slapping his cheeks and heading back home saying, right, I can't just give up now. I refuse. I refuse to give up. With that, soon, he hears another voice saying, now that's the spirit. It looks like you truly are worthy of a hero, Kupo. With that, Izuku hears another new voice saying, what the? Okay, now that one is new. Soon, a smoky cloud appears as he sees some kind of weird creature that almost looks like that of a stuffed animal mascot. Or rather, he feels like he's seen this kind of mascot before, but he doesn't know where. However, that aside, he soon freaks out saying, what are you? Then saying, no need to be afraid, Kupo. I am here to help you become the hero you're destined to be, especially helping you get your power out. Then Izuku saying, you're gonna help me become a hero? But wait, no. I need to know, what kind of power are you talking about? I'm quirkless. I have no power, no quirk whatsoever. Hearing that, the small creature, the floating creature, couldn't help but spin around and say, oh, silly boy, Kupo. I believe that you're already aware of the crystals inside you, or rather, though the ones who want to guide you to become strong. Then Izuku completely is dumbfounded, but then begins remembering ever since he was young, ever since he was 10, he's been hearing voices, the voices of multiple people always telling him to still become a hero. With that, Izuku saying, you mean I'm not going crazy? Are you telling me that there are actual people keep on telling me to become heroes? Wait, do they have mind quirks, or are they using a telepath quirk to telling me? Soon, the mascot creature saying, you're not going crazy, Kupo. And no, it's not no one's using a quirk on you. They're actually trying to communicate with you, Kupo. With that, Izuku was completely dumbfounded, with soon saying, oh, really? Who are they? And where are they? Soon, the creature goes up to him saying, why don't you meet them? as he places his hand on Izuku's chest. With a few seconds later, 6 crystals began to emerge from Izuku's chest as these shining crystals began to float right in front of Izuku, with Izuku completely caught off guard, with him, admiring each and every crystal that he sees as they look truly beautiful. Within the small creature saying, well, these are the ones who have been talking to you all this time. They're Eidolons. Saying, Eidolons? I've never heard of that name before. Saying, well, it's surprising you don't. Well, actually, it's not surprising that you don't know them, because they were not meant to be part of this world. They were supposed to be part of the Forgotten World. Saying, Forgotten World? Well, let me explain and give you a quick crash course. Currently, the world that you're in has not been here for long. Instead, this world was just formally created about, 500 years, actually. Saying, wait, what? 500 years? That makes no... Saying, now let me explain. Let me continue. As soon, the creature still gave Izuku a quick rundown of his world. That this is a new world born from an old world called Pulse Cocoon, where 4 gods ruled over humanity in that world. However, due to many disagreements, many creatures wanting to end humanity, and due to many inconveniences, humanity decided to create its own future, its own world, where they decide their future, decide their fate, that being this new world. However, little did we know that quirks never should have came to fruition. However, quirks were never supposed to happen, actually. I guess it may be a byproduct of the Lassie powers, after all. Saying, wait, Lassie powers? What is that? Saying, I'll go into details another time, or later on. But other than that, right now, these 6 crystals were Eidolons of past heroes. Those heroes used to be one of my closest friends, actually. With Izuku saying, wait, really? Yep. However, many of us believe that they were destroyed, putting an end to that manipulative god, Bunavelza. But it seems like their fragments still survived. And it looks like they've chosen you. And due to the years of you hosting them, it seems like they're now at their full strength, and they're ready to help you become a hero. With Izuku saying, wait, what? But why? I mean, I'm okay with them trying to help me, but what do I do? With saying, well, that's where I come in. It's time for me to finally introduce myself. My name is Mog, or you can call me King Mob. But since we're going to be friends and I'm going to be helping you, you have the right to call me just Mob. Or since we live here in Japan and you guys like using honorifics, why not call me Mob-kun? With then Izuku saying, yeah, no, how about no? What, saying, drats. But it's good to finally meet you, Mr. Mob. Saying, Mr. Mob? Well, I am older than you, I guess it kind of fits. With soon putting out his arm, and Izuku and Mob shake hands. After that interaction, and the two actually getting to know each other for at least a little bit, Mob tells him that not only his job is to guide him, he's also to become his weapons. He has the memories of all of his former friends, his former weapons. So, if he ever feels like it, he can actually turn into them, allowing Izuku to fight alongside his Eidolons, instead of them always having to do the heavy lifting. With that, soon Izuku saying, okay, I mean, I always prefer to show my own strength and show what I'm capable of, after all. But since my powers aren't a quirk, or my Eidolons aren't a quirk, what should I do? Saying, within Mob actually saying, Kupo, I know exactly what to do. Kupo, with that, he's saying, call your quirk summoning or Eidolon. With then Izuku saying, wait, just like that? They've never seen a quirk like mine before, and plus I've never even been able to summon my Eidolons. With saying, well, that's because you need to get a feel of it. Feel them within your soul. Call them out when they feel like you need them to aid you, help you. I feel like 3 of them are willing to help you out right now, but the other 3 most likely may stay out until you feel like you're at your wit's end or when you need a reality check. Because that's what Eidolons are normally made for. To either kill their host or to make sure that their host remembers their purpose, their focus to keep on moving forward. Or is their true terms to never forget on who they are and how far they have come in such a long way. And that being you, Izuku. Your journey starts now. With soon, Mog transforms into a sword as it looks somewhat futuristic, with Izuku actually caught off guard with this weapon, saying, a sword? I don't know how to use a sword. And When soon it transforms as it looks like that of a gun, saying, a gun? I shouldn't use a gun. The laws in Japan are actually pretty frowned upon about guns. I can't use, unless I'm a pro hero or my quirk actually relies on a gun. I can't. With soon, Mog transforms back and then slaps Izuku upside his head multiple times with his tiny fist, with saying, calm yourself, Kupo. With then Izuku saying, thank you. I think I needed that. With saying, since it's going to be your quirk, since Eidolon's going to be your quirk, I'll be also your quirk as well. I'll be your partner in the shadows, waiting for you when it's time to come out. When you're ready to fight, I come out. Not just your Eidolons will be fighting alongside you, I will too. With then Izuku saying, you're serious, Mob, but what if I start swinging around you? Does it hurt you? Saying, nope. When I'm in that form, my sense of pain, and I don't die. So I won't be transformed. So I won't be actually killed. Even if you chipped me in the weapon form, I won't feel it. Or I won't suffer any damage from it at all. With then Izuku saying, fascinating. That is quite interesting. Well then, maybe I should try. Because there are multiple weapons where you're most likely going to have to use a gun form. With then Izuku saying, can we try not using firearms? With soon Mog saying, nope, Kupo. You're going to have to find a way to use long-range weaponry in some way. With that, Izuku slumps down to the ground saying, great. With then, as Izuku says this, he soon hears somebody calling out his name saying, hey, Deku! With then, Izuku recognizes the voice as he squeals. With then looking back saying, oh, hey, Kachan. Saying, what the hell is with you, Deku? Why the hell are you acting so damn jumpy? Not only that, who the hell were you talking to, you bastard? With then Izuku saying, no one in particular. I was just, But then one of Bakugo's lackeys saying, hey, Bakugo, why not bother with this little dork after all? I mean, he's not doing anything out of the blue. But then Bakugo saying, you know what? I wasn't thinking about doing anything and just messing with him. But since today was somewhat stressful due to those stupid surprise tests, I think I'm going to actually enjoy blowing your ass up to remind you your place. Anything that you think is hero related, drop it. Because if you don't, this is going to happen. Within Bakugo sparking his palms with explosions, sends Izuku flying backwards. With that, Izuku actually was rolling backwards around the small alleyway around the school. But then Izuku trying to catch his footing With then Izuku saying, "Wait, Kachan, don't! I wasn't trying to," as he was cut off guard once again with another explosion, as explosions began pelting his body over and over again with tons of bruises and burns. With soon, Izuku was completely and utterly singed by Bakugo's quirk, as he's having a hard time trying to breathe with multiple burns and basically blast all over his body. With then Bakugo saying, "Learn your place, you damn nerd, because if you don't, I'm going to basically remind you that a worthless, useless, quirkless bastard like you doesn't deserve to," with then, as Bakugo was about to say, doesn't deserve to live. But then Izuku's chest began to glow, that of a deep blue. With then Bakugo notices this thing. What the hell is that, Deku? What's going on? With soon Izuku eyes began turning that of a crisp blue. With then Bakugo notices this, as then a crystal soon erupts from his chest, as it being that of a gray blue heart. As Izuku grabs it, he soon hears the voices of two feminine ladies saying, "Call us out, crush the crystal, and call us forth. You know our names. Say it out loud." With Izuku's eyes closed, but then they opened sporadically, with then saying, "Come, Shiva sisters!" As he crushes the crystal and then tosses the remains into the air. As around it, soon water begins to erupt from the shattered crystal remains. With then forming around it, it soon turned into that of a pure ice. With soon the ice shattering, two figures begin to erupt. Two women who look like that of a mixture of living and machine parts, as both ladies look the same but different at the same time, with one of them having that of a pierced blue face and the other having that of a visor over her eyes, and a wheel floating right into her hands. With soon Bakugo and his two lackeys were completely caught off guard. With soon both Shivas began to stand, or rather float, right next to Izuku. With this, Izuku's eyes revert back from blue to green. But then he soon looks around. He soon sees wait, are you two Shiva sisters? But soon both ladies actually have that of a giggling. However, even though Bakugo and his lackeys can't hear them, Izuku can, as they're telepathically talking to Izuku, saying, "It's nice to finally meet you, little Izuku." As the one on his right being Shiva, and the one on his left being Nyx. As together, they are the Shiva sisters. With soon, Izuku was completely caught off guard, saying, "So you're Eidolons." And then Bakugo saying, "What the hell is this, Deku? Wait a minute. Is this your quirk? No way in hell that this can be your quirk. This just can't be." With, "Have you been lying to me all this damn time?" With then Izuku saying, "Wait, no, Kachan, I haven't been. I swear, I haven't kept a secret about my quirk." Saying, "Stop lying to me, you bastard!" As Bakugo tried to rush right at Izuku, but soon he was hit by the floating wheel that Nyx had in her hands. With then soon Bakugo was sent flying backwards with a little bit of blood coming out of his mouth. With soon one of his lackeys actually was able to catch him, but lands on the ground, as the other one looks over to seeing both Shiva and Nyx not playing around. However, as they both put that of a wagging finger in the air at them. However, since they can't hear them, Izuku can, saying, "No, you're not touching our summoner." So, does the little Pomeranian want to continue? Within hearing this, Izuku couldn't help but wanting to smirk and laugh, but he doesn't want to be disrespectful to Bakugo though. Within, Shiva saying, "Don't bother trying to be nice to a boy like this." Within, Izuku was caught off guard with those words. With soon Nyx saying, "He has been bullying you, treating you like you're below him in the lowest of ways, continually bullying you and belittling you, and no matter what you do, and always think that you're trying to be better than him when you're just trying to be yourself. Do you truly wish to continue to admire somebody like him? Somebody like him who continues to belittle and beat you over and over and over and over again, no matter what you do, when you're just trying to be yourself, just trying to be you, Izuku Midoriya? Do you wish to continue defending somebody like him and his actions?" With that, soon, Izuku couldn't help but take Shiva and Nyx's words to heart, as all he's done is just try to be himself. All he's done is just trying to become a hero, trying to strive to become a hero. But Bakugo does nothing but belittle him, does nothing but look down on him, and he can't help but hate this, despise this, and he just doesn't know why Bakugo hates him. But all he does is try to forgive and admire his strength. Then Izuku takes a deep breath, saying, "Thank you for your words, Shiva sisters. I think we're done here." Where soon both ladies couldn't help but have that of a gentle smirk before doing a blow kiss to the green-eyed boy. With that, Izuku was completely and totally caught off guard by that. Within, both ladies fly into the air, turn into ice crystals, and then disappears just like that. Well, soon Bakugo finally catching his breath after that small conversation between Izuku and the Shiva sisters, as Izuku grabs his bag and decides to head home. With then Bakugo soon saying, "Don't you dare run away from me, Deku! We're not done with this!" Within, Izuku looks back at Bakugo saying, "I think we're done here, Kachan. Consider me no longer the weak kid I used to be, no longer the person that used to admire your strength and power. From now on, I'll be who I am, and I'm going to aim to become a hero no matter what you say or anyone says. You hear me? From now on, Izuku Midoriya is done being your punching bag." With that, Izuku couldn't help but think to himself, "Wait, what the hell? When did this new form of courage just stepped up? I mean, even though Shiva and Nyx talked to me, I wouldn't be able to say all this without even trying. What's going on?" Inside Izuku, a certain, transforming horse Eidolon couldn't help but smirk, thinking, pushing the kid to act on his true emotions and his own feelings isn't too bad to do. At least it gives him a chance to actually open up out of his shell. These are words that Izuku Midoriya has always wished to say, but never had the courage to do so. With him finally unlocking one of us, we can now influence Izuku to speak his mind, to speak the words he's always wanted to say. Back with Izuku, he's really confused about this, but he'll solve about it later on and decides to leave. But then Bakugo wanting to basically attack Izuku again, saying, "We're not done here, Deku!" as he feels his chest as he's in so much pain as he thinks his ribs are now cracked. But then saying, "Damn it, that attack! How can an attack like that actually hurt me? What the hell is that damn nerd's quirk now? And how did it just awaken out of nowhere?" Then after that, both Bakugo's lackeys couldn't help but feel somewhat worried, thinking that they just made an enemy out of somebody who was able to defeat Bakugo with just one hit. With that, a couple months have now passed as Izuku began to get to know the Shiva sisters, as they are ice Eidolons, that they have the ability to manipulate and control ice, even create their own type of ice out of nowhere. But if they want, they can also even manipulate the moisture and the vapor in the air to create ice as well, making them quite the powerful Eidolon. With not only that, he even figures out that Eidolons have that of a transformation function as well, that they can transform into vehicles. For example, the Shiva sisters together, they transform into that of a ice bike, with Izuku wanting to see this transformation. With that, Shiva obliged as they transform. As Izuku sees the transformation sequence, he couldn't help but blush, as them transforming is quite, well, provocative, as he could say in the simplest of terms. With them, they finish their transformation, with them turning into that of the ice bike, with Izuku completely surprised and shocked. But once he gets on, he couldn't help but feel like he already knows how to drive a motorcycle. As he revs the engine, he couldn't help but think, wow, this is the kind of horsepower I would actually admire a lot. Then soon, he can still hear the Shiva sisters saying, try not to be too playful, Izuku. We can still feel everything that you do." With then Izuku blushing, saying, please don't tease me like that." With both Shiva and Nyx couldn't help but laugh at the, stutteringness and the embarrassment of their new summoner. With then Izuku wanting to know his other Eidolons. With hearing that, one of the other crystals began to emerge, as the crystal takes the form of a crystal rose. With then Izuku wanting to touch it. However, he's already aware of the names. With then his eyes begin to turn from green to orange. With soon saying, "Come, Odin." With that, he soon tosses the crystal into the air, as Mog is aware of what Izuku's going to do, as he transforms into the gun saber form. With then he slashes through the crystal. As it shatters, a spell circle soon appears. Coming through the spell circle, a mechanical man that almost looks like a true warrior among warriors, comes through. As then he soon grabs Izuku and then throws him in the air. With Izuku soon does a couple of flips, but then landing on the ground, as both Izuku and Odin strike a pose like they're cutting through whatever in their way. As Izuku soon looks at Odin, as Izuku saying, "Odin, so you mean like the Norse god Odin by any chance?" With soon Mog transforms back into his normal form, saying, "Not exactly, Kupo. This Odin is not like the mythical Norse guy that you know in this world, Kupo. He is a true warrior. He belonged to an old friend of mine named Lightning, but her real name is Claire." Within, Izuku looks at Odin, as Odin talks to Izuku within his mind, saying, You are quite the boy. I think you have a kind and pure heart. Strong. You lack confidence in yourself. That could be a problem. But then Izuku saying, I'm aware. I don't have much confidence because people have told me to give up on my dream. So I saying, it's because of that lack of confidence, I'm going to snap you into shape. If you wish to become a hero, you're going to need to have a backbone. You're going to need to stand on your own 2 feet to overcome whatever comes your way, to protect those that need to be protected, to save those who need to be saved. But you also need to show others on who you are. And that is what's more important than anything. Izuku Midoriya. With that, Izuku couldn't help but feel somewhat overwhelmed, but also couldn't help but think that Oden is willing to do all of this, is willing to help Izuku get out of his shell, to inspire, to be the hero he always dreamt of being. With then, Izuku couldn't help but actually tear up saying, thank you, Oden. With Oden couldn't help but smirk, even though his face can't actually emote. He couldn't help but places his double blade into the ground and then lowering himself and then extending his right hand towards Izuku saying, from now on, I will be your companion. I will be your knight, your soldier, your horse. And you will be my rider, my summoner, my king. As I believe in you, you need to believe in me. Is that okay? But then hearing this, Izuku wiped the tears from his eyes saying, yeah, that's okay. With this, Oden couldn't help but grab the blade saying, great. Now then, I'm going to teach you on how to be a warrior by fighting you. Let us spar, my new master. With Izuku actually really taken back by this saying, wait, I have to fight you? Saying, of course. You'll need to know how to fight. After all, you did say you don't wish to rely on us all the time. Isn't that right? Did he not say that, Shiva? Mugo? With then the Shiva sisters couldn't help but giggle saying that's right. With then Mugo saying, he did say that, Kupo. With then Izuku actually really, really scared saying, will you hold back with me? Saying, seeing that you don't know how to fight? Of course. But the more that you begin to develop your own fighting style, I will not hold back anymore. So prepare yourself, my summoner. Within, Izuku's eyes begin widen as he's now scared, saying, oh, okay. Within a couple of months have now passed, Izuku began developing his own fighting style with the weapons he has a better understanding of, as it being Lightning Saber Gun, Snow's Coats, Hope's Boomerang, and also Fang's, collapsible spears, alongside Noel's transformable great sword and dagger. He's even starting to get a handle of Sarah's transformable sword bow. With Izuku was always worried about using weapons, as he always thought that people who use weapons weren't that heroic. But then he remembers Snipe, and even remembered Lady Nagant, whose quirk was a living weapon after all. And even remembered tons of pros having that as support items to help them improve their quirks. So in a way, if he could tell people that Mog is his own personal support item to help him in combat alongside his quirk. As it wouldn't be too hard. Not only that, he even told his mom about his quirk called Eidolons. As at first she didn't really believe him, but outside of their apartment, he soon showed him Oden with her actually completely caught off guard seeing the massive night. With then Inko couldn't help but cry tears of joy, saying, "Oh, my baby, you finally have your quirk. I'm so happy for you." With Inko holding her precious dear son, happy that her baby boy finally has the quirk and can finally become the hero he always wanted to become. With soon, not only that, people have also found the truth that Bakugo has lost to Izuku. Not only that, people have also believed that Izuku now has a quirk. However, a certain few believe that Izuku is still quirkless and that Bakugo basically lost to a quirkless boy. With many people wanting to, beat Izuku and some actually thinking that they can possibly stand up to Bakugo. However, all three were wrong, as Izuku has his training with Odin and the Shiva sisters, and Bakugo, it's still Katsuki Bakugo of all people, so yeah, nothing's gonna change there. But even so, Izuku's training continues. With then, he also awakened the third Eidolon, that being Brunhilde, that being the blazing hot Autobot Eidolon. With her powerful flames, she will use them to protect Izuku no matter what. With that, Izuku is happy to get a third Eidolon, with soon him training day in and day out with his third Eidolon, even loving her transformation form being that of a automobile. Unfortunately, Izuku doesn't know how to drive. So he thought. Once he actually gets behind the wheel, he actually is aware on how to drive. Just like about Shiva and also Odin's, horse form as well. So yeah, given that he has knowledge of riding a motorcycle, horse riding as well, and how to drive a car too, which Izuku would actually want to figure out and why. But even so, he still uses the knowledge he does as that of a way to get ahead in life with his new power or his new quirk. With Izuku preparing for his first day at Aldera Junior High, with everything basically going somewhat as usual, with their homeroom teacher actually wanting to give all the students a career aptitude test, given that once they graduate from that of Aldera, they could join the workforce or move on to high school. However, he tosses all the papers into the air, basically aware that all of his students want to join the hero track, with even Bakugo, as always, insulting his entire classmates and also announcing that he plans on going to UA, the national level school where the top ranking pros all go to, such as Best Genius, Endeavor, and the number one hero and symbol of peace, All Might. With soon, their teacher also sees Izuku, has a paper and an entrance form to UA as well. With Bakugo hearing this, part of him really wants to put Izuku back in his place, but the other part of him doesn't want to waste his time because he knows that Izuku's just going to beat him again, or rather, his Eidolons are just going to beat him instead. With all of his classmates basically mumbling around about Izuku being quirkless, some knowing about his Eidolons, and others who are just skeptic about the Green Net Boy. With that, Izuku actually prefers this over being constantly bullied over and over again and belittled constantly for just wanting to be a hero. Rumors about him still being quirkless or him having a quirk is a lot better than the alternative, to him at least. With that, as the day ends and Izuku plans on leaving his junior high school, as he gets out of the front door entrance of the school, he soon noticed that Bakugo and his lackeys are there, with soon Izuku saying, seriously? Shiva, Nyx, make sure you guys are on standby, okay? With then Shiva and Nyx saying, of course, Izuku. With as he has the crystal in his hand behind his back, with soon Izuku saying, Kachan and you guys, what do you guys want? It's saying, I'm aware that you are planning on going to UA, so I'm gonna say this once and only once. Don't you dare take the test. I'm okay with you going to some other basically crummy ass school with a hero course, but if you go to UA, you're basically disrespecting me. You got that, Deku? Saying, how am I disrespecting you? I mean, I'm trying to become a hero just like you, and I want to go to UA. Saying, that's exactly. Everyone knows that to become the number one hero, you need that of a sympathetic backstory. Basically, me being in a dump school like this and then rising up to the top to become number one. If you basically go to UA and you basically get in my way, how the hell am I supposed to become number one, you piece of shit? With saying, are you serious? That's your reasoning for threatening me? Oh my god, you really need better material, Bakugo. Saying, you damn bastard, don't you dare look! With soon, Izuku stepped back, with then crushing the crystal saying, come, Shiva sisters! With then, Bakugo's eyes began widening as he internally saying, God damn it, at this moment I knew I screwed up. With soon, as Bakugo thought of this, the two Shiva siblings began to come out, as then they transform into their motorcycle form. With that, Izuku gets on, saying, later, Kachan. Now, try something like this again, and you're going to be wishing I've done worse. With soon, he revs the engines and then leaves the school, creating that of an ice trail. However, doing so also frees Bakugo and his lackeys by putting tons of frost all over their bodies as they begin shivering. With soon one of his lackeys saying, Bakugo, you really need to stop doing this to Midoriya. Saying, yeah, he's not the same person he was back in elementary school. With soon Bakugo creates tons of explosions saying, damn it! That damn Deku always does this! Ah! With soon, he screams out, I swear, one day, I'm going to beat the living shit out of you! You worthless nerd! You hear me? With Izuku still heading back home while riding on Shiva, with Izuku still able to hear it saying, loud and clear, Kachan. Little did you know, there's no way in hell you're going to catch up to me anytime soon anymore. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. And like I said before, if this video can get up to at least 1,000 views and 100 likes in the next week or so, then I'll continue to part 2. So yeah, but if it doesn't, I don't plan on continuing this series. So yeah. Also, please like and subscribe and hit that bell notification to keep up to date with my videos. Also, please make sure that you guys are subscribed, because again, YouTube basically unsubscribes people if you guys haven't checked out my channel for a long time. So there's that. Just try to make sure that you guys are. That's all I'm asking. And also check out my Discord, my gaming channel, my side channel, and my Patreon. All linked in the description below if you guys feel like checking them out. So with all that said, this is Mooky signing out. Later, guys. Shiro Kitsune, finish it off, my lady.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!